Good afternoon, YouTubers, morning, night, wherever you're at. Matching. I know. No, I'm not in jail because I'm wearing green, but whatever. So we'll talk about the people often ask about this, and sometimes people often get this confused, or yeah. We'll just say that. So protection, SMAP, LA, NA, Maine. So all them people often want to know about this stuff, and why did he go there, or who went there, or he's from there, and all this bullshit, you know. So let's get some stuff straight about it, you know. And anybody that's anybody that's well known in there, anybody that's a main person, got a big name, also well respected, also done a lot of time, didn't just sit in the corner and whinge, you know. Like, you'll get people that did 10 years, 15 years, but if they sat in the corner, or they were still, you know, low down and that, and didn't get any respect, then they'll still be out there going, oh, Boneyard this, Boneyard that, you know, like someone that's just done 3 months or 6 months, you know. The funny thing is about that these people do this because, it's just their pride, and they're trying to make themselves feel like a bigger man. So the thing about jail is, people in jail don't fucking matter. You know what I mean? Their opinions don't matter. I'm not saying they're not human. Like, I was in there too, but my opinion doesn't matter to anybody, you know, because what matters to that person is their family outside, and what they're going to do with their fucking entire life. You know what I mean? Been saying that, no snitching, no putrid charges or actions, then it's all good, you know. Don't break your fucking word. Don't rob anyone. Don't fucking owe debts. And everything's sweet. Everything's fucking sweet in there. Other than that, you know, people bail all the time. People get put in NA. People get put in protection from the guards, duty of care. There's lots of different reasons people can be there. You know, some bikies will come in and, I can't go to that pod, this person's there, you know. And most of them will say it. So don't act like, they just put me in here. You know what I mean? You get a lot of them people, they put me on NA. You signed on, bro. You signed on. And you know what's worse than going to NA? Fucking nothing. Going to LA probably. LA is probably worse. So let's explain them all. The main general population, you know, it's a fucking cesspit. Like, straight up, it's a fucking cesspit, right? You know, clubs and all that, they get their wings, and families and gangs, they get their own fucking wings and all that shit, you know. So if you're not part of them, it's starting to turn into America because they've segregated all the gangs and that. So if you're not part of them, you really don't have power in there, you know. You'd have to have a lot of power, a lot of money outside. And if you do, you know, you get people like, I'm not going to say the name, but TS, he's a Curry fella. He will take your money. He's taken a lot of people's money, you know, and he's a hectic bloke, you know. Yeah, anyway, other than that, the funny things are, right, the people that when you first go in, I'm guilty of it myself. Look at them, they're fucking from the Boneyard, this, that. Then you realize, so SMAP stands for Special Management Area Placement, which is for, generally they put, and they used to only have LA, NA, whatever. So LA is limited association, NA is non-association, where you don't associate with anyone, you by yourself. Now, the bikers will often go there, or some will get put there. Some big crime people will get put there because of the jail they're in, and they can't get put in the yard. Threats will be put on their lives or something, or they'll get intel they're going to get taken out. And the screws will actually put them in there. The screws might put them in SMAP. Screws aren't going to put anybody in LA. The only way to go to LA is to give names. And people from LA have told me this. They have to give a name to go there. It's probably the safest place for them, apart from NA. Full of sex offenders, full of informants, and obviously full of dogs, because they all wrote someone's name on the paper to get there, right? Anyway, other than that, SMAP, Special Management. So they made SMAP because a lot of people were getting taken out in the main, going over there to protection. They had nowhere to go, you know. It was either go home safely or fucking potentially get knocked or whatever, you know, back in the day when there was less security and shit. So they go over there. Then they'd start taking out all the fucking pests and shit, you know, all the dogs and shit, because they were just normal boys, but because they'd stand up to the wrong people or something, they just keep getting fucking jumped or stabbed or whatever, you know, and then, or they'd get put in there for duty of care. Now, they couldn't have them with all these sex offenders, because a lot of these crazy hectic boys, a lot of people in jail have been abused. Put them with them, then they start putting holes in these sex offenders, which is great. Fucking oath, all for it. So then they made Special Management, which is like between the main and LA. This is New South Wales, right? So yeah, well, anyway, it became a bit harder to house limited association and non-association because they really have to be put with each other and you know, limited jails and all that. SMAP turned into what boys used to call the white man's main, where a lot of boys would come over. Back in the day, you know, years and years ago, the brothers would send a lot of boys. If you had a go, if you're Aussie, you know, you just keep getting jumped or whatever, you know. Not saying all of them, you know, there'd be a lot of them Aussies that would all of a sudden be 2% Koori and start wearing beads, you know, but, you know, they're white as, but all of a sudden they're full brothers. They get out with talking like a brother, all that shit, you know. Yeah, so, you know, just be yourself, everybody, be yourself. And if you are part something, that's good. You know what I mean? My children are part something and I'm all for it. And, you know, they have that much of their culture, but they don't sit there and say that they're one thing when they're 98% something else. You know, just say what you are, be who you are. We're all human beings, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, we're all human beings and we're all equal. Anyway, so yeah, SMAP, so they made LA. Then they start trying to sneak people in there because it was easier to house them. They get sentenced, send them to minimum security jails and try to put them in the SMAPs or try to put them in the main. They get found out pretty quickly. Sometimes, yeah, the main will go off. But these days when they were trying to figure that out, this is back early 2000s, late 90s, a lot of sex offenders and dogs were getting taken out and fucking all for it. I used to think these people yelling out to them, you know what I mean? They'd yell out, oh, he's a fucking dog, fucking chop him, this, that, right? But then call them a dog for being in there, right? But at the same time, bro, you can sign in there and get them yourself. If it's that fucking important, what do you care more about? What this guy thinks of you or taking out a sex offender? Like when you put it like that, if you can go in there and know that you can put holes in fucking, you know, putrid people like that have touched children and fucking all this, or given up your family for major things, been on the stand, well, you're gonna care what fucking, you know, what's his name, Elmer Fudd cares about, or what he thinks of you, or some dude that's done 6 months. He's like, oh, he went to fucking the Boneyard. Yeah, he went there and put holes in someone, bro. And you know what? Some people go there, they get that opportunity. You know what I mean? Fucking, it ends up being worse than the main. I've seen a lot of boys go over there and then go back to the main and say, fuck, bro, it's way worse, you know what I mean? And they left the main because they thought it was too hectic. They go to SMAP and go, holy fuck. The boys are over there fucking, you know, what's it called, paperwork checking and all that. And I'm not saying, you know, all Boneyard are great and that, but there is a good majority of them in the SMAP that are decent, are good, and all the well-known criminals, bikies, all that, they get along with them. They all get along fine. They all know it's just, you know, dramas. They got put in the wrong situation at the wrong time. And they're just, not everyone's going to walk into a yard and get fucking stabbed just for the sake of fucking what fucking John Doe thinks down the road. You know what I mean? They all know who they are. They know, as long as you haven't told on anyone or done anything putrid, then if you go there, that's okay. If you tell on someone, that's not okay. If you do something putrid, that's not okay. You owe debts and do it, that's not okay either. You know what I mean? You fucking dry snitch and that, which is like, this is like a dry snitch, right? If you want to know what a dry snitch is, we call it dry snitching in there. This will be, so we don't use the word snitch, we use the word dog, but we use the word dry snitching. So this will be like, say you're at muster or something, or you walk into a yard and, you know, there's like 10 guys you're going to fight, or even just one. You know, if there's 10, fair enough, whatever. But if there's one guy, oh shit, he's going to want to fight me. The screws are there and you start fucking offering him out in front of the screws. That's dry snitching. You're making sure that the screws take you. You're letting them know there's a fucking problem. Or yelling out through the gate to boys that you want to attack or that you've got dramas with. Bro, don't yell out through fences. Like, that's dry snitching as well. If there's any officers that can hear that, or even inmates put notes in all the time. They get scared of consequences or things are going to happen in the yard. They'll write a little note, drop it in the office. Yeah, but there's dogs everywhere. There's sex offenders everywhere. There's all that shit, you know. But LA, people from LA are the absolute worst. A lot from NA are bad, but there's also that factor of the bikes and that. The thing that I don't get is when they have a choice to go to NA or SMAP, because obviously they're not going to put them with the dogs and sex offenders, and they don't go to SMAP. In SMAP, they still sneak some out there, and you can still get dogs and shit, and you can take them out. If you have the opportunity to take these people out, the people that you're so against, why are you not taking them out? People's opinions in jail do not matter. Get that through your head. All that matters is walking out that gate that day. You know what I mean? Fucking walk out that gate. But don't, you know, like, yeah, I did it at the start and I used to yell out to them and fuck you, all this shit, you know, but it is what it is. It's just jail. It's just like the outside, you know what I mean? When people hide in cars and fucking shoot at people. You're not walking in the house. You're not fucking without a belly, knocking on the door and going in their yard. That's their house. Walk in, bro. Knock on the door. That's the same fucking thing. You know, so it's just, to me, it's all the same. To me, it doesn't matter. And for them to have the worst yards, there's only ever been a SMAP yard shut down at Goulburn, like literally shut down, literally fucking shut down, where they took everyone, put them in there because no one would go in that yard. You know, these boys were just bang, 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 putting holes in everyone, you know. I don't know if they're dirty at the world, but you know what? Yeah, even Bass Hamsey got fucking, was trying to hire all the fucking, SMAPs that were going into the gang unit and shit, saying, oh, come work for us for BFL and that, like trying to use them for the hits and shit, because they knew that they were crazy. In the gang unit, bro, they were fucking grabbing each other, biting ears off, fucking stabbing each other, fucking heaps of shit, bro, like in the gang unit, while handcuffed with all the screws, everything, you know, because that was the only opportunity to get each other. They were proper, you know, like no one from the main was doing that. There might have been a fight or two, like in Supermax with Alameddine and Hamzy, sorry, but yeah, nothing like hectic. Anyway, guys, that's an explanation of SMAP, LA, NA, New South Wales only. I'm not talking it for other states. I've heard in other states it's a lot different, you know. It's like when protection originally come out and they'd only put putrid people there. But then they've segregated it all into special managements and stuff like that, and they go to different jails and shit. But they absolutely do try to sneak people out. And when they ask them, when they come in, I guess they have to sign something. If they're not going to give a name, then they'll get put in SMAP as well, you know, unless they can show their charges. But a lot of them will be like, I need protection, but then the screw will say, oh, what for? Screws don't have access, you know, just on hand to know your charge, or they don't know you, you know. Some people think, oh, they know what I'm in for. Bro, they don't fucking know. Why would they know what you're in for? They don't know every fucking thousands of inmates and what they're in for. They know the main people. They probably didn't even know what I was in for, even though I was the main guy. It's just like, oh, he's fucking crazy, watch him. You know, that's it. You know, like fucking, what's he in for? I don't fucking know. Like, how the fuck would they know? Unless they specifically search it or they've been there at your classification or something. I don't even know if they have access to your court files because they're not allowed to open your brief. I know that. When your cell gets searched, because I used to hide strips in my brief. Fucking bang. They're not allowed to open it. But, yeah, anyway. Love you all. Have a good day. That's an explanation for you of the Boneyard. But more importantly, LA, Butrons, check people's charges, you know. Don't worry where they went in there unless they went to LA. Because people have gone to NA just on, and SMAP just on, just to be looked after, you know, by the screws so that they don't get taken out because of intel. So just check people up. If they've snitched, told on people, fucking putrid offences, shit like that, then you will find that out and they will be found out. There should be the Mako files back, 100. Anyway, have a good day, everyone, and you can go now. That's the new one. That's the exit.